Welcome to the Wardenberg Family Farm. Today I'm going to show you what's growing in my grow room and which ones are getting planted out in the garden today. Alright, so I'll just start on the top and show you what I got. In this flat we have some mints, spearmint and lemon mint, and tulsi, which is holy basil. And I have some nettle and some thyme. Those are some of the herbs I'm going to start working with as far as, herbal tea and maybe some medicinal plants. And they're all doing great. I can't wait to plant them. Let me smell some mint. Ooh,
you have everything labeled this year?
that smells good. Yes, I do. Well, and anytime something didn't germinate or didn't work, I stick a marigold in. So I don't have an empty hole. So I have marigolds stuck in all kinds of random places. But man, that mint smells good. And then I have 3 trays of snapdragons. 1, 2, 3. And actually, probably in about a week, I'm going to cut the tops off of those so they'll branch out and get a little bit bushier. So they're going to be pretty. They're going to be so pretty in dried flower arrangements. Now, this is the one tray that's a disappointment. This is turmeric. And I don't know if I got bad turmeric from someone or what, but it did not come up at all.
I hate it when I get bad turmeric.
Yeah, none of it. I've kept it moist, warm, everything I'm supposed to. I treated it just like I did my ginger. Look at my ginger on the bottom. The ginger worked.
Which one's the ginger?
These big tall things right here, they're ginger. And I planted them the same time as I did the turmeric. So I think something's wrong with that batch
They're
of
getting
turmeric.
pretty tall. Be careful we don't get ginger snaps.
Yeah, you're funny. They actually do need to go out soon or get into bigger pots. So that's a bummer. Now this is my second planting of tomatoes. This is the majority of our tomato crop. All different kinds. We have super sweet Chadwick cherry. Oh, Cherokee purple. New girl. Oh, it's Brandywine. I've never done Brandywine before. Celebrity Plus, Carbon, Rutgers, and lots of Amish paste for some tomato sauce and paste.
So when are you going to up-pot those?
They need to be up-potted today.
Oh,
They should have been up-potted about a week ago. I'm a little bit late on things. And then I have some miscellaneous flowers in here. I have some celosia, some gumfrena, and I have some catnip and marshmallow, which are other 2 herbs and mints I want to try to work with. So we'll see. Those are 2 brand new things. I've never done those. And my sweet potato slips are coming along beautifully. Look at those beautiful sweet potato slips.
So how many sweet potato plants will you get out of that?
I have no idea, but probably more than we need. But you just put the potatoes in dirt, keep them moist. They grow their little slips. And then when you stick the slips in water, look what happens. They grow roots. Those will be ready to go in the ground whenever it gets warm enough around here. They'll probably be way past what time to go in. But they're just doing beautifully. And they all came from sweet potatoes from last year. So we will have a complete sweet potato harvest for no money at all. Completely free.
Your hands don't look like farmer hands yet.
They're getting there. I'll be in the garden today. They'll look worse by the end of the day. And then down here's a tray that's just coming along that needs up-potted. And I start working on zinnias and marigolds because I plant a lot of marigolds and zinnias. So I just kind of put them in with everything. So there's a bunch of those. I have skullcap that's only coming up a few. Lemon balm. A plant called Heal All, which is supposed to be a great medicinal plant.
Where?
This right here is Heal All. And I've never done that before. A lot of this is new stuff for me. And I have 2 things that haven't come up. Lemon verbena and lemon mint. So they might be a failure. We'll see. And the koyas that I up-potted and grew in one of our previous videos. Look at them. We are going to have beautiful, beautiful koyas all over the place.
They do look good.
Yeah, and then down there's more sweet potato slips. I'm going to have a lot of sweet potatoes. All right, these are some of the plants that are going to be planted out today. These are mostly all cabbage with a few broccoli thrown in. And they are very much ready to be planted out.
You have red cabbage?
I have red cabbage and a couple different kinds of green cabbage. And they're doing really well. They're healthy.
Let's see the red. That's what I love,
they
the
pretty?
look of them. Yeah.
Can't wait to make some Thai slaw with some red cabbage.
Ooh.
I'm ready.
What are we having for dinner? I might have to get some.
Not tonight. Well, you can get some Thai slaw. You can go buy some Thai slaw. That'd be good. And then the next shelf down is all zinnias. Various different zinnias. I love zinnias in flower arrangements. They're just, they're an old-fashioned kind of flower, but they're just so pretty. And they're doing well. And I might try to start a few a few weeks before the last frost in the high tunnel so I can get some head start on some of them. And then down on the next shelf are my elderberry cuttings that I started. Look how beautiful they are. Those are some nice looking elderberry bushes.
Oh,
They're the ones that I did the hard way by bringing them in, rooting them in water, and then putting them in dirt.
but they're further ahead than the ones outside.
Well, I started them earlier,
Okay.
but the ones outside are going to be doing fine. I just cut the branches in pieces and stuck them in the ground, and they are rooting and sprouting.
That looks like some stuff in the front yard there. Spring onion.
This is onions. That's also going out today. They need to be planted. They're beautiful. They're in great shape. And these are my hibiscus.
Where?
Right there. In a previous video, you took a shot of it and they're just a tiny little green spot. And you said, that's not going to grow into anything. Yes, it is. It's going to be a beautiful hibiscus plant.
Nice.
Yep. And then down below here is my fig tree that I don't know anything about. Somebody gave me a fig tree and it's growing well and it has little figs coming.
Oh my goodness. Look
That
at that.
I don't know. I have to learn how to take care of fig plants. I have a gentleman at church I think is going to help me out because I don't know anything about them, but I want to be able to grow it. And that's my mom's fern that I've been keeping alive.
Yeah.
So it's going to be beautiful and ready to go out this spring. It looks very good. And I actually have a little baby fig from a branch that I cut off of here. I love to propagate things and get things for free. So here's another little baby fig. So we'll see what happens with figs. I don't know. All right, for the last shelf, there's some cool stuff. We have more hibiscus, which are doing nicely. We have curly parsley and flat parsley, and I believe that's a little snapdragon that somehow got stuck in there. And lots of rosemary. Look at that beautiful rosemary. I love rosemary, and I'm going to have a lot of it.
What's in the empty ones there?
There's something that didn't germinate, and it's actually something I forgot to label, and I don't know what it is.
Like Christmas.
I tend to do that every year. I plant something and don't know what it is, but it didn't come up, whatever it was. So I'll be missing something. Now here are the beginnings of the peppers. And a little lettuce seed to get slid in there somehow. We have lots of peppers. Oh, let's see, what all do we have? I forget what that is. I can't even read it. Whatever, it's a green and a
Well,
red
it's good
pepper.
to know that I'm not the only one that has a hard time reading your writing.
Oh, California Wonder. Sprinter. I think that's actually an early bloomer, so I should have some early peppers. And Sunbright, which is yellow. Keystone Giant, a really big green one. Banana peppers. And Big Red. We'll have some really big red peppers.
Cool.
Last year we had a humongous pepper harvest. So we'll see how this year does. I don't think we need quite as many this year, but we're going to have some beautiful ones. These are other plants that are going to go out today. They're on my broccoli and cauliflower. My grandkids love broccoli. I've never been able to get big heads of broccoli. They've always been the little tiny heads, and I'm going to experiment this year. I was watching Little Mountain Ranch, and she said her secret to big broccoli is to put partially composted compost around the plants, and that gave her really big heads. So we have a partially composted pile out there. So after I get these planted a few weeks from now, I'm going to start mulching them with partially composted manure. And we'll see if we get big heads of broccoli.
Now I have a question for you. It looks less crowded here than it did last year. You used to have the trays sideways in there, but now they're long.
That's because it's early in the season.
Okay.
All these things that are in little tiny things need to be potted into bigger pots and then bigger pots. So right now, these aren't taking up hardly any room.
Okay. But in the big trays, though, you turn them sideways.
When I run out of room.
Oh, okay. So there's
When
more
every
stuff
single
coming.
shelf is filled and I have more plants, then I start turning them sideways. They don't get the best light. They need to be under the light
So
totally.
your next planting's going to be bigger than this one?
Well, it's all these little things getting planted up into bigger pots.
Oh, okay.
Like today or tomorrow. After I take all these and put them in the garden, I need these pots this size. And I actually have to say, I'm not a big fan of plastic, okay? In the future, I will probably be using more and more soil blocks. But I already had these pots. And they are easier. They may not be quite as good for plants. Soil blocks are supposedly better for the roots and stuff, but they work okay. But when these pots are no longer usable, then I'll stop using them.
You mean
But,
earth cubes?
Soil blocks, you're funny. And they do work well. They're seeming a little more harder work for me. So for right now, I'm still using my plastic, but that's because I already had them. I wouldn't be buying plastic and use it if I didn't already have it. So, but anyway, I need this size pot because I have tomatoes that need to be, let's see, get one out here. See, they are in a small 6-pack right now. There's 6 tomatoes in a pack, okay? So they are out, I mean, the roots are out the bottom. They need to be up potted into pots this size. Because if you look at the difference, these are tomatoes I up potted 2 weeks ago because I had an extra of these. Look how big they are compared to these. They do better when they're moved up to bigger pots so the roots can grow and the plants can grow. So as soon as I get all these pots empty by planting all the broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage, these will all be empty. They're going to get filled up with tomatoes and peppers. And then they can start growing big, 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 big. But these will all be going out today. And then some of these things need to be potted up.
What are these?
This is a lot of oregano. I love oregano. And we have the freeze dryer, so I'm going to be freeze drying a bunch of herbs. And I have some fungus gnats, bad. But I also have more parsley started. I'll probably be starting parsley all through the summer, so I always have fresh stuff coming. And these are our pepperoncinis and our jalapenos. I want to do more cowboy candy this year, so I have my jalapenos started.
Awesome.
But these are the tomatoes I'm going to be up potting after I get the pots empty. And back here I have some valerian. I've never grown that either. That's another herb I want to try to grow.
Which one?
Right there, the little ones back there are valerian.
Okay.
I think they get real big and tall and have
And that's
blue
where you get
flowers.
valerian root?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and hopefully they'll be growing. And here's more marigolds. Like I said, I end up with marigolds in every pot. And then this is borage. That's a really good plant to have. It attracts pollinators, and it also is really good with nutrients. You can actually chop it and drop it around plants to fertilize.
Bees love it too, don't they?
Bees love, well, bees love anything, but they really do love borage.
And let me guess, you have more
I have more ginger.
ginger down there.
I'm going to have a lot of ginger, and a lot of that needs to be put into pots. I am a little bit behind in some things, so after today I get stuff out of the bigger pots, move things on up.
You know what's nice for you got these on wheels, you roll these things,
Yep.
make more room and move them around.
Yeah, if I need more room over where I do the potting, I just slide it this way. If I need more room here, I just slide it that way.
Yeah.
It really is a good system, and I have the lights on timers. They're on for 16 hours, off for 8, and it really works well. And this year, everything's looking pretty good. Last year was a bad tomato year. I just didn't have good tomatoes from the very beginning, and they never really thrived. So, but this year, they're off to a good start. I hope to get a lot of tomatoes.
Good.
All right, we got all the broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage planted out in the garden. See, I now have 2 big empty shelves. Good feeling. And now I have the pots that I needed. These were the pots that this morning had broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage in them. And I needed them to put these little tomatoes in because they've been in these little things too long. Their roots are way down at the end, and they need to have more dirt and more room to grow their roots. So I'm putting them deep down in there, putting the dirt around, and now he'll be a happy, happy tomato. So the rest of my evening is just switching tomatoes over to these pots. now that I have pots.
It's always just shocking to me that that actually works.
Oh yeah, they live. Now these two don't look as healthy. We'll see. I'll give him a shot. He's just not as strong. He might have been shaded out by the other ones. We'll see.
See, are you a happy little guy?
We'll find out in a couple weeks if he wants to grow or not. These are all super sweet tomatoes. And the next ones are Chadwick cherry tomatoes. They're really good cherry tomatoes.
So how do you feel after working outside all day?
Tired.
Yeah?
Good, but tired.
Well, I think anybody that sees the size of the market garden and what you maintain would say you have a right to be tired.
Yeah.
You did have a little bit of help though, right?
I did. Someone helped, and they also put up my trellis for my sugar peas.
Yeah.
So now I'll be ready to plant those soon. Actually, probably in a day or two. It's starting to look like spring out there. Things are growing, and the next time you see the garden, it'll probably be a lot of green stuff in there.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That'll
And
be
hopefully, and no weeds this year, right?
There's always weeds, just hopefully not as many.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, it's the next day. And yesterday I did manage to move all the tomatoes up to bigger pots and a few other things to bigger pots. And I even planted some more seeds. So by last night, I was very tired, but it feels good to have that done. Now, I just have to keep things alive, keep moving things to bigger pots until it's time for them to go to the garden. And I cannot wait for that day. So thanks for watching me and my plants, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.